You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited to see y'all's reaction to this featured artist. Again, like I said, it's either going to go really well or y'all are going to be like,
you've made that disclaimer before, and it's gone over fairly well in the past.
See.
So
we will see.
Just like I called it with Joel, I think our past history will indicate that. I would say, now this might be playing it safe, but one out of the two of us is going to like it.
Sure.
And the other one will have anywhere from a tepid response to liking it.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some stats. I'm going to hit play. And then I'm going to turn over the DJing to which one of y'all want to do it.
As long as it's enough's enough. That's all I care about.
So 22 studio albums.
Okay, 22 studio albums.
9 live albums.
Okay. 15, so far, so good.
15 compilation albums.
That's a lot of compilation
5 EPs.
It's going to be Aerosmith.
Over 60 million albums sold worldwide. They have 11 gold albums, and they have 5 platinum albums. They have 1 Grammy Award. But I'm not going to tell you what the Grammy's for.
You might be right, Fisher.
This is a group, right? This isn't a solo artist.
This is a group.
Okay.
I'm going to hit play.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Aerosmith.
I don't have a guess. I suck at these things.
I'm interested to see. Here we go.
I was just about to say Jethro Tull. Oh, dang it. I love this song.
Sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent.
Mother truckers.
Snot's running down his nose.
And thieves, that's what they are.
So, I'm going to say something to that here in a second.
Drying in the cold sun.
This drummer's badass.
Really pack his run. Feeling like a dead duck. Spitting out pieces of his broken love.
All right, so when you said effing thieves, now were you referring to, because from when I was looking their stuff up,
there's only one thing.
Is it their Grammy that they won?
Yes.
For best hard rock metal performance?
Yes.
Over Metallica?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And what album was it for, though?
I don't know, and I'd
have to look that up.
Hold on, I was just looking it up. Hold on.
So, for those of you listening or watching while he's looking that up,
Jethro Tull.
Jethro Tull. They're a British rock band from Blackpool.
Crest on a Knave.
Okay.
Crest on a Knave.
Yeah.
Well, but okay, so yes, the travesty of that was they won it over that album won Best Metal over Metallica's and Justice for All. But can you name the other nominees that year for Best Hard Rock Metal Album? No, you can't, because they had to give it to them old farts.
And everything that I was looking at as well, they are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And from what I read, their lead singer has been quoted in saying he doesn't believe they should be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Really?
That's one of the things that I was reading. And that he says that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tends to be more of an American-ish, like something for the American bands and all that. And he doesn't feel that it would be right for them to be put into that. I was like, that's interesting. But one of y'all can take the reins as far as playing songs, because I don't know any of their stuff. I
don't know any of their stuff either, but I will share this. Hold on.
The only other song I know by them is Thick as a Brick. And that was because it was covered in Guitar World like years ago.
I will play this. Hold on, if it'll.
And a nominee again.
Are you playing it?
I'm not going to play their performance. Hold on. There we go.
Mainstay of the band. Welcome, please.
Say this. There's a category that didn't exist a couple of years ago. It's called metal. And this music lends some of the greatest musicianship that is in modern music today, and some of the greatest excitement as well.
I'm going to fast forward to this part.
Roy Rogers.
All right, Roy.
Metallica.
So that
This is them winning their Grammy.
and it was for the Black album.
Yeah. It was their first. This is them winning.
Oh,
This is not them losing. This is them winning.
Ho, 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 ho. Couldn't they give us a few more minutes after that?
They just came off stage from performing.
Anyway, let's
Sandman.
get on with it. Thank you. You want a job? Let's see. I think the first thing we got to do is, obviously, like you guys were expecting this, we got to thank Jethro Tull for not putting out an album this year, right?
There you go. That's about the only thing I have for Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
You played the only song that I only really know, Aqualung. What made you choose this band?
Well, y'all had mentioned them a few episodes back, and like I've told y'all before, when I listen to y'all talking, I will jot down bands that y'all say just in passing, and I'll write that band down. And I was like, you know what? Let's kind of see what they have to say about this band today. And my question is, what is it about them that's so intriguing, good, or whatever? I mean, because I listened to a few of their things, and I really didn't care for it.
Well, so I mean, they're from that era of rock and roll, basically the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know, they kind of have, at least to me, if you don't include the flute playing, they kind of have a little bit of they have a little bit of a Black Sabbath feel to them. Just the tone of the guitar and
Yeah.
things like that. But I mean, I was never really attracted to him. The only thing that I really can remember, other than the song Aqualung, the album cover for that album, Aqualung, my parents had that album, and I remember when my dad would, like I've stated before, on Saturday mornings, my dad would wake up and he'd play either Eric Clapton or the Stones, and sometimes he'd put on Jethro Tull. And I would sit there and I would look at the album and I would open it up and look at the sleeve and the pictures, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I have. I don't really have any other memories of them. I mean, Aqualung is the first song that you pull up on iTunes. It's like their most popular song. But Joel mentioned it, so I'll go ahead and play.
He's over there studying, man.
I'm just curious.
So he like.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out.
There's the flute.
My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make you feel, but I can't make you think. Your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink. So you ride yourselves over the fields and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
You know, that's what I'm called in bed.
Oh my god.
You wish.
You know, thick as a brick means dumb.
So what is it that you're studying so hard over there?
Okay, so it took me a second. So I just want to, you ready to get really upset, Fisher? Because you said who else was in that category. Okay,
Yeah.
So the first year that it was put out, the actual first metal album that it was awarded to was actually the year after, and it was awarded to Living Color. But for 89, the actual it was best performance with vocal for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So that year, this is the albums that were nominated that Jethro Tull beat out. Some of them I get. The first one, Blow Up Your Video by AC/DC.
Okay.
Okay, that's Cold Metal by Iggy Pop.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction. They beat out Jane's Addiction. And then And Justice for All by Metallica.
So they beat out a couple of old timers, just like themselves, an up and coming band in Jane's Addiction, and at the time, the biggest heavy metal band of all time.
Oh yeah, I would
in the world. That's who they beat out.
I would 100% agree with you. It's just
fun. At that time, AC/DC was still pretty big.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they were all over the place, and they were coming off the success of Back in Black and all that.
You know, their whole catalog, all that stuff. Blow Up Your Video was kind of the return to MTV, because they really didn't do that before Razor's Edge and all that stuff.
Right.
But I mean, AC/DC was an established metal band. If they would have been Metallica, hard rock. At least.
And the guys from Metallica would even probably have said, you know what, they deserve it before us.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Like you when you go to a Metallica concert, the music that plays before their intro music, the Good and Bad and the Ugly song, is For Those About to Rock by AC/DC. So I mean, and then hell, they probably would have. I would have been okay. I mean, I was a kid in '89, so I was 12.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a fan of the band at that point yet.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
But even if Iggy Pop had won it, I think if any other band in that category had won it besides Jethro Tull, I think there would have been some head scratching from those in the metal community. Like, can you really? I mean, but it's qualified with hard rock / heavy metal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's why a Jane's Addiction makes it, even though I wouldn't even categorize them as hard rock. They're closer to punk than anything else.
Yeah. Well, and again, they must have got it right, because the following year they made the clarification, and Living Color with Cult of Personality won. And then the nominees that were with him was Aerosmith, Great White, Guns N' Roses, and Motley Crue. At least those sonically somewhat make sense.
Right.
But like when you listen,
you just heard Thick as a Brick.
Yeah.
And how are they a metal band?
Okay.
Well, so before you answer that,
I have a question, but continue.
But here's my question. Is it now? We're going to make a comparison here real quick, because and it's going to be very fast. We know that FIFA, the biggest soccer entity that there is in the world, is corrupt, and that you pay people to get what you want. Is it possible that there was some kind of corruption going on to get Jethro Tull an award somehow? Or is it just happening that they just flubbed this one?
I don't think they listened to the album. I think that they literally had no clue what A Justice for All was. And they were I recognize this band.
Right. I think it's what Eddie Trunk says. For those of you who don't know Eddie Trunk, you really need to go check him out on either That Metal Show, or find him on YouTube and listen to his radio show.
He is great.
Because that man, you think this man right here has musical knowledge? Eddie Trunk is
not even in the same sphere.
Now on That Metal Show, they had a segment called Stump the Trunk, and very rarely was he stumped unless you went and read liner notes, and
it was usually BS. All the ones that I saw, I mean, there was one that was a legit question, but
But he chalked that up to that and bands being snubbed from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as that's just the in crowd, the Rolling Stones, the Grammy board, whatever, just their heads up their asses and not knowing, like Joel said, we don't know what this band is, what this is. Hey, Jethro Tull, we know who they are. They've been around since the 70s and they've put out some stuff that we're aware of. So we'll give it to them, right? Over, like you said, established bands like AC/DC, who, if AC/DC wins the hard rock / heavy metal Grammy, then there's not as much head scratching going on as with, what the hell, Jethro Tull? They're nowhere near hard rock, let alone heavy metal, right?
100%.
So the album that they won it for, Crest on a Knave, here, I'll play the...
That's what I was going to say. Have you ever listened to this album?
No,
okay,
and
let's do it.
These are first times hearing this, and I'm going to play one of... That's too long of a song.
Find one that's like their biggest, like the most listened to off that album.
So here,
there's three of them.
Let me do this before you hit play.
Okay.
Why don't we make the song that you're about to play the first listen for today?
Oh, why not? No, let's do it. Come on.
Okay.
Let's make it, because it's going to be a legit first listen.
And let's be honest, Fisher. None of us want this, and this just sounds like radio gold to me. Let's just do it.
Okay, so do you want the 6.5 minute, the 3 minute and 41 seconds, or the 10-minute long song?
The 3 minute
41 seconds. Yeah.
All right.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. That's all it takes.
MF has been knocked out in the first round.
42 years old. I'm in good shape, but my body weary.
Oh, my body weary. I'm
tired. All right. So this is a song off of the album Crest of a Knave, and the song is She Said She Was a Dancer.
Okay. Ooh. We have to listen to the whole song.
I like the stand-up bass.
She said she was a dancer. If I believed it, it was my business. She surely knew a thing or two about control.
It's got an Elvis Costello feel.
For me, it sounds like Bob Dylan.
A little bit.
She almost slipped right through my fingers. It was snowing outside and in her soul. Well, maybe you're a dancer.
Little Dire Straits.
Little bit, yeah.
I thought it through, best to let the illusion roll. I wouldn't say I've never heard that tale before, my frozen little senorita. But if your dream is good, why not share it when the nights are cold?
That was nice, lick.
Hey, Moscow, what's your story? Lady, take your time, don't hurry. Maybe a student of the agricultural plan.
I was really liking it till then.
Hey, Moscow, what's your name? If you don't want to say, don't worry. It would probably be hard for me to make it scan. With her phrase book in her silk soft hand, she spoke in riddles while the vodka listened. I said, let me look up love if I might be so bold. She was the nearest thing to rock and roll, that side of the velvet curtain that separates Eastern steel from Western gold. Hey, Miss Moscow, what's your story? You needn't speak aloud, just whisper.
Yeah.
Am I just the closest
that's exactly.
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
You see me in your magazines, or maybe on state television. I'm your Pepsi Cola, but you won't take me out the can.
That is a terrible lyric.
So she did.
You're my Pepsi Cola, but we won't take you out of the can. Oh my god.
Would have been a lot better if he'd have said, "I'm your
She
Coca-Cola."
said she was
Yeah,
a dancer.
Pepsi Cola.
If I believed it was my business.
At least be the quality
Felt
cola.
like a merry
Right?
Yeah, my Dublin
dance that
cola.
I was being led. So I stole one kiss. It was a near miss.
I'm so glad we did the 3-minute
I
one.
was Jack the Ripper. She leaned in close.
15 seconds
Night
left.
Was all she said.
I can't wait to talk
So I
about
took
this.
myself off to bed.
There you go. She said she was a dancer.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Well, let's let the host go first.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Well, okay. Okay. Well, there was not listening to y'all's commentary. I'm trying to look at this and it from what I listened to. Like there was so much potential.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. Like there were parts of that song where I was like, yes, okay, I want to listen to more of their stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was like, it was almost like a squirrel or somebody with ADHD that was like, hey, what's going on over here? And I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
And for the most part, I felt like it was being driven by the lead singer and what he was doing. And it's like, no, like for me, and I'm coming from the vocalist of the three of us.
Yeah.
I don't like the guy's tone. I
Mhm.
don't like his vocal.
Mhm.
I don't think his vocal fits the rest of the band.
Mm,
I
okay.
don't.
Okay.
It almost it's clashing too much with everything else. Because man, like you said, like when that guitar player did that cool little lick,
Yeah.
we both were like, "Ooh!"
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, and then the lyric content bit. But I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. That
Well, okay.
there's just enough there that makes me want to go. You know what? I want to listen to another one. But if they let me down on the next song that I listen to, then I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're. There's not a thing that you just said that I disagree with, because
100%.
there was quite a bit instrumentally that I was like, okay, I see why everybody lost their shit when they won the Grammy, right?
Yeah.
But in their own right, the musicianship, the guitar playing in specifically was good.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
it was interesting. It kept me interested the entire song.
Yep.
Even when it would go off on its tangent and go like that part, like, so Metallica, the way they write their songs is everybody writes riffs and then they piece the riffs together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's the sense I got with this song is, okay, we're going to take this riff and we're going to take this part, we're going to put it together, and hey, this one that we wrote like 5 years ago that has nothing to do with the recording sessions now, let's throw it in because we really liked it for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And then Ian Anderson, that's the lead singer. That's the other thing. He's the other thing about Jethro Tull that I kind of know. Like, he's known as a very eccentric, off the wall kind of guy. Like, if you go online and you watch performances, he's
always got that one leg up.
got that one leg up. He's
Yeah.
playing the flute, and he's a Scottish guy. What can we say? But he's not quite all there, and his lyrics reflect that.
Yeah.
Right. They're all over the place, and like, I'm your Pepsi Cola, yet you don't let me out of the can. Like, what?
Yeah. Secondary cola right there. Secondary cola. You might as well just say I'm your RC Cola.
He is. RC's better than Pepsi, man.
I like RC.
He's European.
Dr. Thunder.
What can we say? Dr. Thunder. He's European. I don't know. There was enough there that I would say, hey, let's listen to some more, right? Like if we were all sitting out on the back porch around a fire, drinking a scotch or whatnot, and hanging out, I'd say, hey, this album beat out Metallica and AC/DC. Let's give it a listen, right? And if we listen to that song, well, like Ryan said, let's listen to one more. And if our reaction to this second one is the same as this one, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to put myself through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
100%.
But I can also see the production, the sound, the way the song was put together. I can see why those who picked the Grammys picked that album, right? Because it was it's a safe pick, right? And when you don't understand a genre of music, you go with what you know. You go with the safe pick, and there you go.
Yep.
Let's say you, hero.
Okay, here we go. First off, I just want to let y'all know that I read one other thing while we were listening to that song. The year that they won this award, it was only released once. There's only one award with that title on it, and Jethro Tull is the band that won it. So just put that in perspective. That's how bad they screwed up that year. Okay. I wanted to hate this so badly. I wanted it to come on and I wanted it to grab me by the testicular area and just rip them off. And it started off and I was like, that's not bad. Like that's, and then they shit the bed and they go to that weird ass chorus. And because I was thinking, man, this has a Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits vibe, and like, it has this kind of cool vibe. And
well, the way the guitar was, the way it was being played and the tone sounded just like Mark Knopfler,
dude. It was
even the vocals kind of sounded like the three vocalists we mentioned, Bob Dylan, Elvis Costello, Mark Knopfler. He had all of that in there.
And it was going
that's
beautifully.
That's the Dire Straits lead singer, for those of you who don't know.
Beautiful. They had wooed me into thinking that I thought they got it wrong, but this is not that. I'm intrigued.
And then the laxative hit.
And then they hit it. And they went in a curveball, and of course, we both kind of looked at each other, and Gurfers tried to stop from vomiting, and then it went back, and I was like, oh, and there were some beautiful music moments. I said, okay.
And then they went back.
And then they went back, and they shit again. They were Amber Heard in the bed of Johnny Depp, just defecation everywhere. And then they end with that lyric that's just terrible, but they're European. I don't care. Whatever. But then they end on this crappy line in there. And I was just like, I will agree with all of y'all. I would like to give it another listen. What makes this band special is Aqualung, when it came out, was so different than anything else out there. It was, there's no normal time signature. It's what is an aqualung. I didn't know what an aqualung. I do know now, but at the time I didn't know what an aqualung was. And what is he talking about? And this is, kind of, very fairy tale kind of lyrical content and the flute and all the others, like there was a magical quality. So that's why I think they've kind of endured. They're just one of those unique bands that have just kind of, just migrated underneath the surface of just ultimate stardom to still continue to play and whatnot. This does support the idea that the Grammys literally have no clue what they're doing half the time. The fact that this album won, just putting the other albums in the same kind of context is beyond me, but we've already beat that to death. I will give it another listen. I think the next time we all get together, we should probably get some cigars. We'll get, in honor of this, some blackened whiskey.
Yeah.
We'll listen to maybe the 12-minute track or whatever, and we'll see if maybe we're wooed. I I'm just really disappointed because I really hate. I was wanting to just ultimately hate it, and then I kind of liked it, and then they slapped me in the face, and then they slapped me in the face again. So
Yeah, well, you made mention of how the Grammys, they don't know what they're doing half the time. I mean, I'll ask you this, and I know that what the album I'm about to bring up, I know you like, but Steely Dan's Two Against Nature, when it won Album of the Year,
it shouldn't. It is a great album. It is a great, beautiful album. It was an outdated choice. Now, nominated 100%. I'm totally down with that.
But what do you think was a more egregious mistake, that or Jethro Tull?
I think this one's the more egregious, and this is why. At least it made sense for multiple genre albums to be Album of the Year. This right here makes absolute zero sense. I'm not even going to say it's a great album because I don't.
Now, granted, we just played one song off of that.
But again, and I'm saying that, but just from a sonic standpoint. So like if let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say Jar of Flies came out at the same time as And Justice for All and was nominated for heavy metal performance. As much as I think that is a much better acoustic album, I would not have put that in. That should not even be nominated. It should be nominated. Just like this should not have been nominated in the heavy metal category. It just makes no sense.
Right.
Not even in the rock category, because saying it's hard rock, maybe rock. Hard rock, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when you made that comment about them not knowing what they're doing half the time, I immediately thought of the Steely Dan being winning in 2001, I think it was. Somewhere in that area.
No. But like I said, I think that was a travesty because I think they got the Album of the Year wrong. But them being nominated,
right,
100%. That's a great album. Should it have beat him out? No, it shouldn't have beat him out. But I'm not as upset about that as I am this thing. But you know what I would love to hear, other than free the Henny or free the Hennessy, hashtag, for life. I would like to hear what people have to think about this as well, because this really turned into a first listen of Jethro Tull into a shit on Jethro Tull, which is really not what we want to do here. But, when you do have some upset musicians and audiophiles, we have to at least keep it real. So, Gurfers, I have to say the direction that you planned that to go was probably not what you had intended, but
I had no idea what to expect with Jethro Tull being the featured artist. That's why I said it could go one of two ways.
Yeah. And we would love to hear what y'all have to think. If y'all don't even know what we're talking about, go check it out. There's a video where you can actually see them lose the award to, it's actually online. You can type it, Jethro Tull versus Metallica. It's easily what I did. But, we want to hear what y'all have to think. If you agree with us, if you disagree, if you think that the Hennessy bottle should be out there free with everybody else, put that hashtag out there, free the Hennessy.
All right.